Stupid NFL. Stupid Steelers. 52 to freaking 21. Some bull. You're supposed to be 6-2, man. Well, Panthers fans, we got a primetime game tonight and definitely got a healthy helping of humble pie. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the massacre that happened at Heinz Field tonight between the Panthers and the Steelers and what the heck do the Panthers do from here going forward. We're starting right now. What up, dude? What's up, everybody? It's Aaron Duncan here at the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. It's a channel I might not tell you what you want to hear, but I'm definitely going to tell you what you need to hear. And I'm just trying to give a recap and analysis of the best division in the NFL, the NFC South. So if you want to see more videos about the Panthers, the Bucks, the Saints, or the Falcons, go ahead and subscribe button below, man. Get a video a thumbs up while you're at it, too. Make sure you share this video with anybody that's feeling the same way that I'm feeling or feeling the way that you're feeling. And be sure to make sure you tune in for the whole video to see how I'm really feeling about the NFL and these refs. First, we're going to talk about the team, of course, but make sure you guys stick around and hear what I got to say about these refs. Where to start? I mean, I really don't know what to say about this game. Let's start with the positives. That's the shorter list. So the first 4.5 minutes were beautiful. The Panthers, they drove downfield. They ran the ball a ton. They got into the end zone, had a nice, healthy drive. The first 4.5 minutes were just beautiful. I mean, we had questions about what we'd be able to run on the Steelers defense, who had been pretty stiff against the run, and we pretty much got what we wanted on the ground game with Christian McCaffrey. Everything looked very beautiful. However, things seemed to turn from there. I don't know what was going on. I was so proud that we actually got a fast start. I know some of our road games we started slow, dug a hole that we couldn't dig ourselves out of because we started off pretty slow in the first quarter. This game we came out and we got a touchdown. However, everything was washed away in a matter of 13 seconds when Big Ben hit JuJu Smith-Schuster on a 75-yard touchdown pass and roasted James Bradberry, who bit on the pump fake. I know I had my questions about Bradberry coming in, and I have been skeptical about Bradberry. A lot of you guys like Bradberry. I thought his feet were too slow and he couldn't change direction very well. He bit on a freaking baby route on the first play of the game, gave up a 75-yard touchdown drive, and it seemed like that just took the air out of the team, and the game was over from then. The Panthers, they felt like they kind of shook off their sluggish starts on the road with that first drive, and all the hopes and dreams that came from getting that touchdown on the first drive went out the window with that 75-yard touchdown. And defense was horrible. For a team that's known for defense, I have never seen the Panthers play worse than they did tonight. They couldn't tackle, which, as I said, was a key on Wednesday. They had to be able to tackle. They didn't do that. And I don't know if it was just a fatigue from playing on a short week. I think that might have had a factor to do it. That's one of the reasons why I thought that the Panthers would fall short in this game when I made my prediction on Wednesday during the live stream. The fatigue, the traveling, it just seemed like this game could be better on paper had it been played on a Sunday, but the circumstances didn't allow for the Panthers to be able to play their best, and it clearly showed. The defense, they tackled poorly, which is very uncharacteristic. They got plenty of penetration, but they couldn't get James Conner on the ground. They couldn't get Big Ben Roethlisberger on the ground. It was just, they pretty much got anything they wanted, whether it was by air, by ground, by sea, by land, whatever. The Steelers pretty much just did whatever. Big Ben Roethlisberger had a perfect passer rating with 5 touchdowns. He only had 3 incompletions. What? They punted one time late in the fourth quarter when Josh Dobbs was in there? What? And I've been on Twitter. A lot of people are calling for the fire in the Eric Washington, but Eric Washington ain't got nothing to do with these guys' heart and these guys' ability to want to tackle. If you're not out there trying to tackle and you want to tackle, you're not going to be able to tackle great. And it was just a piss-poor performance fundamentally from a Panthers team that usually is pretty good in those aspects. Eric Washington, yes, some of his schemes were kind of whack, but at the same time, the players have to execute out there. They still have to man up and get off blocks. They have to make tackles. They have to wrap up and play fundamentally sound football, and they didn't do that. Offensively, it just looked like they had a game plan, even from the first drive when we had success, that they weren't going to let Cam Newton beat them. They were sending guys directly at Cam every time, no matter what the play had going on. Cam was getting hit even when he was handing the ball off to Christian. And Christian was running right by the guy that could have tackled him, but that guy ended up going for Cam. So they pretty much had a plan to go at Cam. And after that first drive, Cam came out on play action. As soon as he turned around, baby J.J. Watt was right there in his face. I don't know why Cam panicked. That was easily the worst decision I've ever seen made by a quarterback in my life. And Greg Olsen was right there. He could have just threw it down. Worst case scenario is an intentional grounding. They get a safety, and they get the ball. But they get a lot more momentum when you give them a pick six after their defense was not too confident after you drove down the field on them the whole drive. So that pretty much flipped the whole script and the mentality of the whole game. Cam was feeling the pressure the whole game. He played like trash. He was balling up every time he felt any kind of rush getting close to him because the O-line had been great all year. This is the first time they faltered, and Cam faltered with them. Chris Clark got exposed. Van Roten got exposed. Khalil got exposed. Taylor Moton got exposed. Trey Turner got exposed. The whole 5 front linemen got exposed tonight. And the sad part is their defense isn't that great to me. We got what they wanted. But they put a formula on film for a team that has the personnel to execute that. They're going to do the exact same game plan to us and try to do the same thing. It seemed like the offense didn't get anything going until they went no huddle and after started getting the ball out of Cam's hands quick. Instead of having Christian McCaffrey, who's no bigger than me, trying to block Cameron Hayward, a defensive tackle, and getting ran through like a freaking speed bump, they decided to let him go out and run routes and give him the ball quick. And clearly, it worked. He had 3 touchdowns in the game, even though one was in garbage time. But don't let him be a blocker. Just dump it straight to him if they blitz us. That's a simple solution to me. I was really disappointed in the lack of adjustment to the adjustments that North Turner made. He made an adjustment by giving it to Christian McCaffrey, but there were still many times they were leaving him in the backfield just because they were worried about the blitz. If they used some more screens to the running backs, things could have worked out a little bit more. They do some dumb wide receiver screens, but those didn't work. The Panthers got pretty decent drives together on offense, but the way that their defense is playing, they couldn't stop anybody. So being okay and all right wasn't ever going to be good enough in a night like this. Now that I've gotten away crucifying my team, I got to take this hat off. I'm pissed, man. Like tonight's game was an embarrassment to the whole NFL, to football. Like I really lost a lot of respect for the NFL, for refs, for the Steelers. Like you can call me what you want. You can call me a homer. You can say I'm biased. Anybody with a normal brain and 2 eyes, and you can see that this game was clear. I'm not going to say it was rigged because even if the refs hadn't BS the Panthers all night, they probably still would have lost by 17 points. However, there was no reason for these guys to put up 52 points on this team. The refs pretty much handed most of this game to the Steelers, and it was pretty obvious, and it looked terrible because it was primetime. I'm glad it was primetime. I'm sad we were the sacrificial lamb to get these refs exposed for who they are. Let's go down the list because I got a long list of some BS calls. So you can kind of deny what you want to on this list, but come on, man. If you're gonna deny that, there's nothing further we can talk about. So let's go ahead and start with it. First, DJ Moore clearly got the first down. We had to waste a challenge on it. I don't know why they called it short. It just seemed the TV people were confused. The refs seemed confused. Why didn't they give him that first down? And why did Ron Rivera even challenge it? It was only going to be 2nd and 1. We could have easily picked that up. There was no reason to waste the challenges. Not that we needed because the game wasn't close, so it really didn't matter. Number 2, AB. They didn't call holding on him after he pretty much grabbed Donte Jackson by the elbow and stiff-armed him away until the last second and pushed off to catch the pass. And you can say all you want, oh, well, he's a veteran receiver. That's a veteran move. But that's bull. That's bull job. I don't want to hear that. And then Troy Aikman, who is probably one of my least favorite commentators, wants to talk about, oh, Donte Jackson, you can't lose your temper. You only got beat once. Blah, blah, blah. You got to be able to shake it off. This is the NFL. Things like that happen. You don't think Donte Jackson's been beat before in his life? Come on, Troy Aikman. You're acting like an idiot. You don't think he's been beat before? Why would he be that pissed about that? Then you want to come back from commercial break when you see the replay and show that he actually got held. And you ain't give no apology, even though you look like a retarded, I don't want to say retarded, you look like an idiot trying to get on him about that when he was clearly mad about the refs not giving him the call. But that's neither here nor there. Y'all know how I feel about Troy Aikman. Number 3, Cam Newton gets drilled by the top of little baby J.J. Watt's helmet and nothing gets called. It hit Cam in his bad shoulder. We end up having to take a timeout after he fumbled. And he didn't look right ever since from getting hit in that shoulder. He went to the locker room early. They didn't call anything. They're supposed to be protecting quarterbacks, and you're not supposed to be able to use the crown of your helmet. They're getting sued by all these ex-players for CTE, but they're not going to make these calls. Like, come on, man. Come on. I'm not buying anything that you're giving me when you talk about these rules, and I'm tired of it. Number 4, the BS spot to give McDonald a first down, the tight end from the Steelers, a first down when he was clearly a yard or two short on the play. Like, it was pretty obvious. I know the yellow line is not official, but it was clear that he was behind the line. He didn't even sniff the line like that for it to be as far over the line like they said it was. And they gave them the first down with no hesitation. That was terrible. Terrible. Next. No review of the catch by McDonald in the end zone. He clearly bobbled the ball. That's not to mention he pushed off first. We'll get to that next. He pushed off. Clearly, you can't separate. He's not that athletic to separate from a double team with that much space in the end zone without pushing off. Not to mention he bobbled it after he got done pushing off. And the NFL released this tweet. I'm going to read this to you. Let me piss you off, Panthers Nation. In Carolina versus Pitt, Vance McDonald had 2 feet in bounds and never loses control of the football. The ruling on the field is confirmed. Not stands. It's confirmed. That means they thought what they saw was correct. And they saw it again on film, which is terribly wrong. Clearly, the ball is moving the whole time. It's on his fingertips. He's moving his fingertips on it. The ball was clearly loose. He didn't have control of it the whole time. Are we back to trying to figure out what the heck is a catch again? Because they're not sticking to all this time they put in the offseason and changing these rules, clearly. Like I said, I already mentioned the push-off they should have called. That's number 6. Number 7, the flag on Eric Reid. Okay, yeah, this is debatable just because fast motion, it looked bad because Big Ben fell down hard, but he slid late. Eric Reid really went with his shoulder. He didn't go with his helmet. There was no malintent. People want to make it all dramatic. His shoulder hit Big Ben's head, if anything, and it wasn't even much at all. Like, had it been as bad as they made it seem, why didn't Big Ben get evaluated for a concussion since he's had concussions in his past before? If it was that bad, why didn't somebody whistle down and give him, make him take the concussion test? I don't know why. Number 8, Eric Reid got tossed out of the game for that hit. That's total BS. You know what I'm saying? The targeting call in college pisses me off, but at least they can review it and get it right. In NFL, they're just calling this stuff and throwing guys out for BS reasons, for their own agendas. That's a whole nother story because Eric Reid has caught the short end of the stick the whole time he's been in the league. I'll probably make a video about that because I kind of gave them the benefit of the doubt. But tonight, it pretty much boiled over, and it was pretty much blatant and obvious what was going on that end. But at the same time, let me take you back to Atlanta when Cam got decked. First of all, he went to concussion protocol because he actually got hit in the helmet, and it was actually late. He was sliding on the ground when he got hit. That guy got thrown out the game. Torrey Smith came to his defense and ended up scrapping with a couple guys, offsetting penalties. We had to replay the down. Tonight, all 5 linemen and more people came at Eric Reid, and it's not like it was just some random pushing and shoving. There's video evidence of some of them grabbing Eric Reid's face mask and chin strap, bending his head back and pushing him away. The refs are right there in their face watching it happen. No retaliation flags were thrown. 1st and goal by the Steelers after that. And that's total BS, and I think I know why something like this happened. Like I said, I'll get into another video about that later. This is tough. It was definitely a humbling experience, this game, which is why I had my humble pie, and we'll have to move on. The bright side is that the Panthers only fall to 6-3. Again, 4 winnable games, but there's a lot of stuff to be optimistic about still. Yes, the Panthers aren't where they are. Yes, they have to go back to the drawing board, but they have a long week, a mini bye week after losing on Thursday. So a lot of time to get things together and fix it. So you guys let me know what you thought about the game down below in the comments. I know it was a long video, but I had a lot to get off my chest, and I appreciate you guys. Let me know. We can mourn together. We can bounce back. Where did the team go from here? Let me know down below in the comments. But without further ado, I'm Aaron Duncan signing off with Necessary Blunt and Sports Talk. I'll see you next time.